host of the Gridiron.
Right? If there's nobody there, right, for you to pick, I mean, hey, take me, yeah, right? I mean, if the second round rolls around, want to take a shot at one of these quarterbacks? Hey, all right. Right, with Beck and Ewers, and I don't know, but I heard Milroe was supposed to be a first-round pick. I mean, PFF has him graded as a first-round pick. I heard some other scouts or whatever graded him as in the first round as well, too. But the thing is that instead of if you're taking a swing and maybe missing with a first-round pick, right? Maybe try to grab a quarterback in the second round. See if one of those guys works out, right? The thing is, if he doesn't, I mean, the problem is that now that was a second round pick that you spent, and you could have quite possibly gotten yourself a really good, valuable player, almost a plug and play player, at another position. So, I mean, there's a lot of things, but there are some possible, bridge gap, whatever you want to call them, veteran players, veteran quarterbacks out there. Now, I'm not so sure. I mean, one of them was Justin Fields. I mean, I don't know. Let me see, Justin Fields. I mean, just I don't know, Justin. It's like I don't know. Everybody's talking about him. I mean, he's on his second team already. I mean, if the Giants. What's his? His record here. He's 14-30. I mean, he's just as bad as Daniel Jones. He's completing 61% of his passes. Daniel Jones completed more. 45 touchdowns, 31 interceptions. But still, I mean, that's still not a great average. I mean, if you throw 45 touchdowns, you want to throw maybe 15 interceptions, maybe 3, even 2 to 1, right? So 45 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. I mean, there's nothing super duper phenomenal about Justin Fields. The one thing I would say is he's a little bit younger. He'd be a heck of a lot cheaper if they would maybe bring Justin Fields in. Heck of a lot cheaper than Daniel Jones. And he hasn't been as injured as much, right? Maybe Dable sees something in him. Once again, if Dable and Shane are here, it doesn't matter what anybody says. It's pretty much Dable, and it's their show. Those guys think alike, right? If Dable's like looking at him, I think I might be able to do something with Justin here. Well, bring him in. You're not paying him $40 million a year, right? Bring him in. But there are, let's see. This article here says 3 veteran quarterback options. I'm going to give you a 4th one, right? So the Giants don't find their quarterback the next quarterback in the draft. These 3 veteran options could be a potential short-term solution. And I said I'll give you a 4th one too. With Daniel Jones benched for the remainder of the season, the Giants are running with Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan, previously the emergency quarterback for the remainder of the season. Now, it'd be interesting to see with Daniel Jones, being on a team, does he even dress? Hey, is it, how they usually have 2 guys maybe on the sideline, or 2 quarterbacks? Is it going to be Tommy and Drew Lock, and then Daniel Jones is, he might be the emergency quarterback, right? Because he's on a 53-man roster. Maybe he doesn't dress and they put him in a stand or whatever like that, and he could be the emergency 3rd quarterback. Who knows? So they go, there is still 7 more weeks to go before the Giants find out where they will be in the 2025 draft order. In the interim, here are some veteran options who are set to become free agents after this year that could draw interest from the Giants. Justin Fields, the former number 1 draft pick, represents an exciting option for the Giants due to his dynamic skill set. Fields has impressed with his mobility and playmaking skills as a passer and runner. His ability to escape the pressure and create plays with his legs has made him a dangerous quarterback in the right system. While he has faced challenges with consistency, particularly in his decision-making and accuracy, Field has shown flashes of brilliance that suggest he could be a star in the NFL. Although Fields has his ups and downs, his potential remains undeniable. Fields could bring a new dimension to the Giants' offense, adding a versatile element and allows them to diversify their playbook and stretch defenses. So, he's an option. I've heard this one. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, the former 3rd overall pick. I mean, what are the Vikings, 8-2? The 3rd overall pick in the 2018 draft represents a high-risk, high-reward option for the Giants. Darnold has shown flashes of talent throughout his career, especially this season with the Minnesota Vikings, where he had a 5-0 start and earned NFC Player of the Month in September. Darnold presents an opportunity for the Giants to bring in a quarterback with untapped potential. If the Giants are willing to invest in his development, Darnold could benefit from a fresh start and the right coaching to unlock his abilities. While he's been inconsistent in the past, his talent and ability to make explosive throws could provide the Giants with a quarterback who could grow into the role with time. Then, of course, there's the redhead, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is a seasoned veteran with over a decade of experience in the NFL. Would offer the Giants a reliable and steady option under center. Absolutely. For a couple of years, if we had to sign him for maybe 2 years, okay, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, he's somebody you can bring in. He's maybe not going to be as dynamic, right, as a Justin Fields or whatever, but Andy Dalton, right, sign him for a couple of years. Hopefully in those couple of years you can find your quarterback in the future, right? Let's see. Dalton has proven himself capable of starting for multiple franchises, including the Bengals, where he led the team to 5 consecutive playoff appearances. 5. Dalton brings experience and reliability, qualities that could stabilize the offense while the team works to rebuild. While he may not offer the mobility or explosive playmaking of younger quarterbacks like Fields or Darnold, Dalton's consistent performance and leadership would be an asset for New York and its young depth chart. He could be the steadying force the Giants need as they transition and search for a long-term solution in the center. And then, since we're talking about hold time, guys, how about this, huh? Joe Flacco. Huh? So he agreed to terms with the Colts for a 1-year deal. So this is his 1 year. Now, I mean, he did pretty good with the Browns. Now, he's been around for a while, right? A little while, okay? So, but he's found a nice landing spot with the Colts. Flacco plans to sign a 1-year contract with up to $8.7 million with the Colts. The deal includes $4.5 million guaranteed. Flacco's return to an NFL roster in March follows a year in which he waited fruitlessly for a team to call with legitimate interest, leaving him on the couch in the regular season before Cleveland's desperation prompted it to fly Flacco out for a visit. What began as a coach flight to Cleveland ended in a euphoric month and a half in which Flacco became the first quarterback in Browns franchise history to throw for 300-plus yards in 4 straight games while leading the Browns to the playoffs. In his 6 starts, 5 regular season, 1 postseason, Flacco proved he can still sling it with the best in the NFL, throwing for 1,600 yards, a 13-touchdown, 8-interception ratio, and winning the Associated Press NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Sure, he was good for an interception or 2 with each game, but the positive outweighed the negative. And after the Colts learned the value of his backup quarterback in 2023, a season in which Minshew was entrusted with the job, they made sure to add another who has demonstrated his value in the last 6 months. So Flacco, obviously the one Super Bowl MVP, right? He's thrown for almost 44,000 yards, 245 touchdowns, and 155 interceptions. So, Definitely. I mean, there'll be guys out there, and I see all kinds of other things. I don't know, I heard like something like maybe Stafford, right? Maybe do something with him. Maybe if the Rams, they move on. They think they're going to be a little stagnant or something or whatever. I mean, maybe Stafford's name getting thrown around. All kinds of things. All kinds of things. Right. I mean, I've seen absolutely crazy. Of course, it just ain't going to happen. But Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, yeah. I mean, he's thrown. I forgot what it was. He's thrown for like 3,000 yards. He only has like 4 interceptions on the season. He's got a ton of touchdown passes and all, and they're like 4 and 7 or something. Yeah. Poor guy. But there are options out there for the Giants, without question. And as I said, the thing is that you don't know is that, and the one is that obviously the draft obviously comes after free agency. So the the Giants, if they can secure a quarterback, for a year, couple of years, I said like Fields or Darnold or Dalton or somebody like that, secure one of those guys for a couple of years, and then the Giants, kind of roll the dice, and hopefully within this draft or next, they get themselves the franchise quarterback in the future. But you just don't know. I mean, this year coming up here, without question, is not a fantastic. They all got chinks in the armor, right? So even if you're drafting 1 overall, or you get your shot at the first quarterback, there's still chinks in the armor of all of them. As we've seen, I mean, just because you're taking the first quarterback does not mean he's going to be the most successful one. Just because there's 3 quarterbacks taken in the first round does not mean they'll be the most successful. It could be somebody taken in the second round. You just don't know. It's one of these things is you need an eye for this kind of stuff, and if you got to feel good about Dable. Right? I mean, if this is Judge or something like that, like, oh my God, we could be in some trouble there. But Shane and Dable, I think they got an eye out there for stuff like that. So. And also, what was it? Shane was out at the game, right? The Colorado game, right, where Sanders was the quarterback. So, he's out there. He's scouting. He's looking, right? So, some of the things you just don't know. You just don't know. You don't know, especially one of the biggest things is where the Giants going to be drafting. You don't know. Are we going to get a shot at one of these first-round picks, or are we going to maybe take a stab at somebody else in the second or third round? You don't know. But one thing you do know, as I said, is that the free agency comes before the draft. So the Giants, I mean, if I can't see Locke wanting to come back here. He had a shot to be, I mean, he's got to be a little inside. He's got to be a little ticked off. I came here to be the backup. Why? You benched the first stringer, and now you just jumped over me to go to the third stringer. That's not cool. So I can't see Locke wanting to come back here, and Daniel Jones won't be back here. So we might quite possibly just maybe have one quarterback after the season is over. So we're going to need a couple quarterbacks. So a nice veteran presence would be fantastic.